lineups. On the other side for the Beavers, it was an all-around game for Taya Corsdale, who did an amazing job from the front court. 13 points, 15 rebounds, and the second start in a row for Maddie Washington and Scott Ruick's crew. Underway here from Corvallis, and let me tell you, you're going to hear a lot of cheers and jeers and a quick whistle already on the court. Michael Price, Bob Schofield, and Natasha Cami, our officiating crew.
Boy, coaches talk about coming to the ball hard and wanting it. Zakira Rice just going straight to it, creating the contact early, making a statement.
And Rice, the leading scorer and rebounder for the Bulldogs, gets the Zags on the boards first.
Come get me. I mean, that's just a great statement. Game one, it was the three inside in this game.
Well, if you think about this group, especially for Zakira Rice and the two other seniors for this team, they were hungry for a win in the NCAA tournament. They were 0 for 2 prior to Saturday's win.
Boy, they missed Maddie Washington in transition.
Destiny Slocum running the point over to Katie McWilliams, one of the two seniors. Nice passing inside and out. The kick back over to Taya Corsdale. And off the mark, Jessie Loetta running down the rebound.
Maybe too unselfish.
A couple of missing pieces for Gonzaga. Jessie Loetta running the point for the injured Laura Stockton, who is out with a knee injury after going down against St. Mary's in the West Coast Conference semifinals. Also, Jill Townsend on the sideline as well. Quick move by Pivick, and Michaela Pivick, the junior out of Linwood, Washington, had her third consecutive double-double after Saturday's win over Boise State.
You must keep her off the baseline. It doesn't matter what side. That quick first step, all that strength, and if you don't have early help and you're dropping in the hole, she's either going to score or dish.
Pivick, a great stabilizer for this group, for the Beavers. You talk about her strength, was a part of the Beavers track and field team, a javelin thrower back in 2017. Oregon State finishing tied for third in the Pac-12, coming off that upset loss to Washington in the quarterfinal. And Scott Ruick and his group is saying, look, we've just got to play loose, we've got to play free, and we've got to put that in the rearview mirror. At this point in the season, it's survive and advance, and that's what they were able to do against Boise State. Appears to be a review on the floor. We have yet to get the word just yet on what it is.
It was interesting during Gonzaga's shoot around, and what kept getting emphasized as, not sure what we're reviewing.
Maryland 80.
We just announced the UCLA score here in the building. But Lisa Fortier, what she really emphasizes, personnel, know your personnel, and know your principles, know your tendencies, because we cannot learn all of Scott Ruick's playbook. I mean, it can be 6, 7, 8 inches thick.
Lisa Fortier in her fifth season with the Gonzaga Bulldogs as the head coach. Zakira Rice off the mark there, trying to follow that rebound. Maddie Washington coming up with it quickly up the floor. Washington looking for her offense early. She got it going in that last game.
And she provided them with a terrific start. 8 points. She only played 14 minutes.
Worth with the move, and again continuing to alter shots is Taya Corsdale. She had 4 blocks in that game on Saturday. She played 45 minutes, all 45 for the Beavers.
And she's coming off 2 straight double-doubles. She's playing the best basketball of her career.
Rebound, Slocum coming back the other way, was the National Player of the Year during her first season at Maryland before transferring. Now Slocum slowing it down, 5-2 advantage. for the Beavers. In the corner. Washington, last touch by Oregon State. Gonzaga gets the ball.
Into the game for the Bulldogs, number 3,
Jen Worth checking in.
We'll see a little sister act for Gonzaga with both Jen Worth, 3 in blue, and her sister Leanne Worth, 4 blue.
So the chess match begins with Rice sitting down. Grimmick comes in at 6'8".
She's number 11 in white on your screen for Oregon State. The screen, Katie Campbell, and she's fouled on the way up. She'll go to the charity stripe for 2. Boy, what a game Katie Campbell had. Really got it going. 5 of 6 from 3. Dropped 15 points, added 7 boards.
She hit the first basket of the game, and with all the things that Gonzaga has been through with injuries and personal tragedy for Lisa Fortier and her family, they just needed a lift to start that ball game, and she certainly provided it. But 7 rebounds as well, a couple of assists, a steal.
But that's something that this Bulldogs team has had to do, because earlier in the season there were injuries. It was Katie Campbell who stepped in when Jessie Loetta went down. Got her first start against Stanford. Here's Loetta back the other way. Moving at a quick pace. Worth by herself, and she knocks down the 17-footer.
And what a nice decision. It's turning into a 1-on-5, and you kind of at some point have to put the stop sign up for yourself. She does, little shovel back, and you get points out of that transition.
Forestdale handling the rock a little bit more. The sophomore being pestered, and the steal from Gonzaga and turning it right back over. This game had a hurried pace early on with just about 4 minutes gone by. Highest seed ever for Lisa Fortier and these Gonzaga Bulldogs. Best regular season for the program.
With that win over Little Rock, the 6th time they moved to the second round, but just the first time since 2015. Boy, Grimmick is big down low, isn't she?
Yeah. It's 11 White calling for it instead. Corsdale just short on the shot. Michaela Pivick, the leading rebounder for the team, gives them a second opportunity. Another opportunity. Grimmick right at the rim, can't fall. And finally, the Zags coming up with it. Loetta trying to take Slocum, the turnaround J. No good.
Boy, you just want to take that elbow jumper. Don't try to take it too far.
Aaliyah Goodman, the Pac-12 Sixth Player of the Year, over to Pivick, and Pivick drains the 3. Beavers, 4th best field goal percentage from three-point land in the country, coming in at 38.
We talked about it on Saturday. Michaela Pivick, the best player in the country that you have never heard of.
Rushing 39% as when you look at these two teams on paper, they're eerily similar.
They really are. I mean, they shoot the 3 extremely well. Steals per game certainly tips towards Gonzaga. This Beaver team really is about position defense. They're not concerned about pressure. They're just concerned about helping and knowing tendencies and taking them away.
And Smith gets the lunky bounce, the 5th-year senior out of Brewster, Washington, transferred in from Nebraska. Goodman, who found rhythm late in that game against Boise State, off the mark there. We'll step aside quickly. Good start here from Corvallis, 8-all in this second-round game. Before the game, you saw assistant Stacy Klein-Smith helping to get things leveled up here for the Bulldogs going into this second-round game against Oregon State. And look, Lisa Fortier has been with this staff the entire time. There's been a lot of continuity all 5 seasons there. Fortier is here back in 2015. When the Bulldogs pulled off the upset over Oregon State. The block from Michaela Pivick.
Every program needs an assistant coach that can come in, be a cheerleader, and get you going.
Oregon State foul called on Katie McWilliams.
So Oregon State picks up
At the line,
the team's
shooting 2 for Gonzaga, number 33.
5th foul of
Melody
this
Kempton.
quarter. And so Melody Kempton will go to the line and shoot a couple.
So the message for me is, you've got those 5 personal team fouls, 4.5 to go in the quarter. You need to be aggressive. Don't settle for jump shots. Try to get yourself to the free throw line. Let's get some folks into some foul trouble. Be aggressive offensively.
And when you look at this Oregon State team top to bottom, they're so tough defensively as well as being strong on the offensive end. But the pressure from Gonzaga, and they're rewarded with a turnover. Balanced scoring from the Zags thus far, but a whistle and a traveling violation. Well, coverage of the Division I Men's Basketball Championship Regional Semifinals begins Thursday on CBS and TBS at 7 p.m. For more information on game times and listings, go to NCAA.com. How about that heartbreaking loss for UCF to Duke?
What a classy guy Johnny Dawkins is.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, hand check there. And still in the men's tournament is, of course, Gonzaga. Mark Few. The 1-2 punch in the basketball area they are up in Spokane.
Mark Few's group has the #1 seed in the West region. They'll face off against Florida State later this week. Corsdale with the pump fake and off the mark.
So while Oregon State goes cold, if you're Gonzaga, come down. You need some offensive efficiency. Take advantage of the drought.
Worth taking Corsdale off the dribble.
It's exactly what they talked about at their shoot-around. Force them left. Force them left.
And Goodman able to steal it away. Pivot, who already has 6 of Oregon State's 8 points, misses. And now slowing things down is Chandler Smith. Been so important in key moments for this team. And Worth are continuing to leave her open. And Pivot corrals it.
She just has an ability to find contact. There wasn't much of a shot there, but she's so strong, just drives the lane, and any foul trouble you can get Rice into, of great benefit to Oregon State. But Pivot, it's just so fundamental.
And prior to that, Oregon State was scoreless in the last 3 minutes. And you can see the contact that she takes on a daily basis. Looks like she has a little
shiner on the left side.
Shiner on the left side, that's right. All Pac-12 selection, but also a COSIDA All-American second team as well. Biohealth science major.
3.93, I believe, Tiffany. I'm not sure what your GPA was.
Quite impressive, nowhere near that.
I was happy if there was a 3 in mine.
Right, exactly.
This crowd loving the defensive effort.
Too strong. Worth there on the other side.
Worth, whose big sister Christina played at Vanderbilt for Melanie Balcom, went on to play for the Indiana Fever. Was a terrific player. Oh, how about the pick? Right back.
Thus far, not able to get it down to Pivot, who has this distinct size advantage. Instead, Katie McWilliams trying the elbow jumper.
Oregon State, 1 of their last 11, and you're down 1. You're in great shape.
We saw Boise State hang tough with them. Again, they had them on the ropes. They were down by 4 with 13 to go. And how about Leanne Worth dropping the jumper?
What was better about that shot is very balanced. The rest of them, there's a lot of leaning going on.
Katie Campbell continuing to pester Goodman. And Campbell is whistled for the foul. So both teams in the bonus. And Goodman will shoot two. Well, the NCAA Women's Championship continues tonight at 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific, right here on ESPN2 with another second round matchup. Stanford taking on BYU from Maples Pavilion. This game is also live on the ESPN app, so you can watch it anywhere.
Elise Woodward and the great Dan Hughes. Seattle Storm.
How about the Pac-12 thus far? 6-0 in first rounds, still perfect with Oregon, Arizona State, and UCLA moving on. Another Pac-12 West Coast Conference matchup. Good look down, and Joe Grimmick gets it. 2 years out of JUCO, the All-American originally from Poland. JUCO All-American and came into the system and has really developed. Worth.
Tough shot. Time and situation.
Under 10 to go.
Oh, moving beautifully without the ball, but great defensive reaction. Best movement they've had in 2 games to get the ball into Joe Grimmick.
So 2.4 seconds remaining. Loetta, can she get the shot up before the buzzer? And it's off the mark. Well, we had 6 lead changes. Who believe they would be here.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And this is a team that just really put together an amazing season. I mean, Barta leading rebounder, leading score, great size. And they have just sort of taken this upon. And now without Laura Stockton and Jill Townsend just continuing to play well. You don't need anyone else to believe in you except who's in that locker room. It really, the rest of it doesn't matter.
Zags searching for their 5th trip to the Sweet 16. Led by a trio of seniors, including Chandler Smith, who has an opportunity to complete the 3-point play.
Turning defense into offense for Gonzaga. The block, aggressive. And then we're going the other way. Chandler was a point guard, but then on the transfer, Laura Stockton's there. It's like, you got to play some other position. Laura Stockton's hurt. You can go back to playing some point. Great size at 6 foot. She knows what she's doing out there.
They like to call her Rancher Tough. Grew up on a ranch. Neighbors with one of her teammates, Jill Townsend.
It's one of my favorite stories so far. We asked today, nice move by Maddie Washington. How many cows in your herd on your ranch? I don't even know if that's the way you asked that question. And the response is, a rancher never tells you how many cows they have.
Oh, she's seen a whole lot, been a part of that whole lifestyle and culture, which is what led her to Lincoln and play a season at Nebraska before coming back over to Gonzaga. And Smith whistled for the foul. We mentioned earlier that Gonzaga down 2 players, and Laura Stockton and Jill Townsend. Stockton, their point guard, and Townsend, a reserve guard, off the bench. They're missing minutes, points, leadership, But I'll tell you this, the way that the team is stuck together and the way that Jill Townsend came back and surprised her team, and Laura Stockton, who's so involved in practices and shoot-arounds, it's as if they're right there on the court with them.
But Tiffany, 2 of your top 4 scorers, your leading assist person, sort of your heartbeat, and Laura Stockton, your energy off the bench playing about 21, 22 minutes a game. I mean, the losses are significant this late in the season.
What out to Worth, who's been knocking down shots. This one won't fall.
Pivic's such an outstanding rebounder.
And zoom pass over to Katie McWilliams, and last touch by Worth. And so Laura Stockton had the opportunity to write a letter to her teammates and said, this is what the game of basketball has meant to me. You've always been more than just a sport, taught me the importance of hard work, pushed me beyond my limits, and really has found a way to empower myself and other women, building up that confidence and believing. That name Stockton rings a bell. Her father was Hall of Famer with the Utah Jazz, also suited up for the Gonzaga Bulldogs, as a foul underneath the basket by the Zags, and Remick is in on the mix.
Zakira Rice with 2 personal fouls cannot afford Kempton to get 2 as well. That would hurt with the size inside and all over the place for Oregon State.
And you see the idea is try to get it in to Joe Grimmick, but batted away by Melody Kempton.
As you watch Gonzaga, no, they have seen size. They lost to BYU 3 times this season, and Sarah Hampson at 6'7", a big part of what Jeff Judkins has put together. The 7th seed will be playing later today at Stanford.
Oddly enough, those are the only 2 teams that Gonzaga has lost to this season, as you mentioned, 3 times to BYU and 1 earlier in the season to Stanford. Worth continuing to work that left hand, and it falls. Well, Leanne Worth has put in some very good minutes.
And the one other loss by Gonzaga, Notre Dame.
Defending national champions who took care of business against Michigan State. They will face off against Texas A&M in the Chicago Regional.
Be a couple Notre Dame fans in Chicago. Coach Forte has to be happy with the effort by her team, staying really focused, staying right in this ball game. Especially with Rice sitting for as long as she is.
Just a reminder, men's ice hockey skates towards the Frozen Four in Buffalo. 4 live regional semifinals across the ESPN family of networks. That drops the puck Friday at 3 Eastern on ESPN2 and the ESPN app. Make sure you visit NCAA.com for all 90 NCAA championships.
And they're going to get McPivick for over the back. That will be her first personal foul. Aaliyah Goodman has 2. Slocum has 2. So will foul trouble play a role in this ball game?
Too strong from Kempton. Well, we've talked all season long, Mary, about the fact that this is just such a difficult place to play. Anytime Oregon State does something, there's oohs and ahs, cheers, and
look, Gonzaga plays in front of a whole bunch of people as well. Over 5,600 a game. The kennel only holds 6,000, so they're at like 93% capacity every single game.
So the noise factor, not a big deal, as we see a contingent from Spokane here in Corvallis. 4-point advantage for the 5 seed Gonzaga Bulldogs. And again, just the size advantage of Grimmick allowed her to catch it, working around the rim, and she's fouled.
But the goal for Gonzaga is make Grimmick put the ball on the floor. Don't let her just catch it, turn, and be right at the rim level. She does that, but they foul. But Joe Grimmick, part of that great history of post-development that Coach Scott Ruick is, he just keeps hauling them in. They want to come here because you move on. You think about what Ruth Hamlin's done playing overseas. Marie Gulich drafted and playing for the Phoenix Mercury. And now Grimmick came in, really had a tough time putting two things together, having a great, especially the last 6 weeks, great season.
Coach Ruick talked to us just about the way that he connects with posts given the size difference. He says, I'm a 5'4" man, but I can bring the best out of my tall post players because there's kind of that awkwardness, he says, of walking in whatever size you are. Says Joe Grimmick came on campus, she used to look down. Now she looks you directly in your eye, holds her head back and her shoulders up. Quick whistle here, and we'll take a break, step aside. 4:47 remaining in the second.
Nosotros estamos en Corrales con mis amigas y mi equipo Gonzaga.
Well, that's just one of 3 languages that Zyakira Rice can speak, and also along with that, there's English and Arabic as well. Wants to be a linguist, already working on a master's degree in organizational leadership. Just a fantastic student athlete.
I mean, what else can you say?
And here's the thing, they're up by 4 without their leading scorer really contributing much given the fact that she's had to sit on the bench with 2 personal fouls.
She's played 4 minutes, she has 2 points, she averages 15 a game.
She hasn't scored since making that first bucket of the game for Gonzaga.
But there is no reason to bring her off the bench when you're tight, when you're ahead, when you're getting plays like that.
Chandler Smith collects 2 more points. Slocum, again playing with 2 personal fouls, back off the bench. Aaliyah Goodman wide open, and that's a good sign. The trifecta. She came on late in that game. All 3 of her trifectas were in the second half against Boise State.
Great pass. And the one quality that a shooter needs to have is if you're not hitting, you must keep shooting, and she does exactly that. Is a great pass.
Michaela Pivic with the assist.
It's an Oregon State team that really wants to get out and run. They are at their best. We're in transition in that secondary break.
And Smith calmly knocks down the free throw jumper on the other end.
Well, she's just taking over this ball game. Oregon State offensively finally starting to click a little bit. Running the set out of bounds. Just beautiful job, screen the screener. You're bringing Pivic hard, and then going opposite is Taya. And then inside, Maddie Washington.
Oregon State, the 4 seed. He's trailing by 3 as Gonzaga has had a balanced scoring attack, led by Chandler Smith with 9. Leanne Worth added another 6. Here she goes, her sister, and that's Jen Worth.
Scoring by committee with Rice on the bench. What a feat by Pivic.
And the missed layup by Washington, jump ball, both Worth and Washington fall hard to the deck. It stays with the Beavers.
And you can see the emotion from Washington. She knows that's a shot she's got to have, but Pivic talking to her the whole way like, it's okay, we need you. Beautiful pass. Just lay it right there, but just too much forward momentum. You got to go straight up and finish at the box.
From behind by Smith, and then the whistle. And Chandler Smith called for the foul. Was that clean? Let's see another replay of it.
Again, beautiful job out of bounds, and
she may have gotten a little
maybe
piece.
the back of the hand. But what a spectacular block attempt by Chandler Smith. What is she doing in this first half? 9 points, 2 assists.
Destiny Slocum, the 5'7" redshirt sophomore out of Meridian, Idaho. Mentioned was the WBCA National Freshman of the Year. And the first season of play in Pac-12, averaging 16 points a game, nearly 5 assists.
3 Zags with 2 fouls. 2 Oregon State players with 2 fouls. Got to manage that situation before you get to half.
Worth with nowhere to go, passing it over to her sister.
And the twins saying, and that's how you do that.
And Leanne Worth, really a finesse game, more defensive-minded of the Worth twins, but she's feeling it from the floor. 8 minutes gone by in this second quarter.
Boy, the fouls just continue to rack up. An aggressive style of offense for Oregon State. Not the most efficient we've seen them this season. They're shooting just 32% from the floor, but this could really wear you out and get a lot of people sitting on the bench come the fourth quarter.
We're coming up on the Northwestern Mutual halftime report with Maria Taylor. Baylor and California in action. Also Iowa State and Missouri State. It's coming up. How about Missouri State?
How about Missouri State? You know, it was interesting. Gonzaga played them back December 16th, and Missouri State was 1 win, 7 losses. The Zags beat them 70-67. Look where they are today, leading Iowa State.
Loetta taking the 3 wide open, won't go, and how about charging in was Leanne Worth to keep it alive for the Bulldogs.
Twins combining for 14 in the first half.
Good ball movement, rather ball fake.
Well, we talked about the importance of three-point shooting for Gonzaga. They are 0 of 5.
Neither team shooting it from long range particularly well. Oregon State is knocked down 2. Goes to show how much we know, Mary, huh?
You got it. That's why you play the games. You don't know what's going to happen. But seedings, shooting, nobody can predict it.
Pivot, great pass. Cross for Taya Coruscant.
They rise.
Just like that, tied up at 32 all. Chesney Loetta silences the crowd.
And that's how you win a game on the road. You silence them. You don't let the home team go on a big run right before halftime. What a half by the Zags.
Oregon State with the chance to tie it or take the lead, and some momentum going into the locker room. Blocked by Loetta.
Great job with the assist, but they just need more buckets.
So the Worth twins, who average 15 points a game, already with 14 in just 2 quarters, and Zyakira Rice, who got a temporary touch on the ball, sat for much of the first half. She had 2 personal fouls and their leading scorer only with 2 points.
She played 4 minutes. Slocum, a slow first half as well. Just 2 points on free throws.
Smith grabbing the rebound. The last time Gonzaga made it to the Sweet 16, they were able to upset Oregon State, who was a 3 seed at the time, to go on to play Tennessee in Spokane. They ran into the Lady Vols and Diamond DeShields, Andrea Carter, at the time. Searching for their 5th ever Sweet 16 trip for the Beavers. They've been in each of the last 3 seasons. Finished up with an Elite 8 last season. In and out for Washington, but staying with it. One of the big stories in that first half, 8 points, 7 boards, and 3 assists. Slocum trying to take the water off the dribble, picks it up. Pivot, just short.
And the story that Scott Rueck told about that loss to Gonzaga here is the following Monday, Jamie Weisner and Sid Weiss come into the office and say, that's not happening again. We're going to get back to work, and we're going to do a whole lot better next year. And that they just sort of set their caps, and that's exactly what happened.
They did. They made it to the Final Four, first in program history, before falling to the UConn Huskies. Katie McWilliams, the only tie for that team. She hit 3 threes against the Huskies back in 2016. Rosedale just short. And all roads lead to the Albany Regional from here. We've got to fill that last spot. The winner of this one will take on the #1 seed Louisville Cardinals. The Cardinals in their 3rd straight Sweet 16 appearance. Think about the job that Jeff Walls has done with that program as McWilliams heaving it up desperately before the shot clock expires. And that's a 30-second violation.
And #2 UConn will face off against #6 UCLA. They met in 2017 in the Sweet 16 with UConn defeating UCLA 86-71. So you just kind of weave together the story of these tournaments over the last couple of years. A lot of these teams have seen each other. I'm not sure many people expected to see Corey Close and UCLA matching up with UConn in Albany.
They will have their hands full, and Rice with 4 points and the largest lead for Gonzaga.
And Rice finally starting to impact the game for Gonzaga. Keep your head up, nice cut, step in, and Chandler Smith at 6 foot, the point guard with the vision and the patience.
Beavers looking for their first field goal made of the second half, and Destiny Slocum is right there.
Maybe that'll get her going.
You see her speed and quickness
and strength. And that's getting the crowd involved.
They could pack it out here in Gill Coliseum, capacity of better than 9,600. Always solid in attendance, and you go back to that building of programs, and you're talking about the UConns and the Notre Dames, Louisville. Well, it was Scott Rueck who, from that 2014-15 season, has gone on and done a tremendous job. The Beavers so tough here at home, 76-8 in that time.
His first year here in Corvallis in 2010-11, 2-16 in conference play.
Big bucket to draw the Beavers within one from Destiny Slocum.
She can be like light in a match, and suddenly the bonfire is going. And Katie Campbell needs to get it going as well.
Tough shot there from Jen Worth. And again, the Twins out of Chandler, Arizona, continuing to be a huge factor here for the Bulldogs.
How impactful Katie Campbell was, 5 of 6 from distance on Saturday afternoon. 0 for 1 so far, just 2 points, both of them at the free throw line. That outside threat to help stretch this defense to win this game. You just feel like she's got to knock down a couple. The three-quarter court pressure.
Sharp passing. Welcome into Corvallis. Mary Murphy, Tiffany Green here with you. The 5 seed Gonzaga has been in control most of the way over the host Oregon State. Bulldogs seeking their 5th ever Sweet 16 appearance. Last time they made it 4 years ago when they came through Gill Coliseum. Very successful program for Scott Ruick and the Beavers, who've gone to Sweet 16 for the last 3 seasons, and Destiny Slocum is determined to help him get back.
So what is Slocum seeing? Worth is on me. I know I'm quicker. I know I can get by you. You see the tough, just hard drive, just the blow by. See, Slocum's just, you evaluate. Where can I go with you? The way you're guarding me. You can't guard me, Worth. Here we go. Little inside out. Little screen by Maddie Washington, and it's over. Layup at the rim.
She scored the Beavers' last 7 points to bring Oregon State within 1. It's Jess Loretta on the other end at the free throw line to shoot 2.
Loretta's been quiet as well. That's just her 3rd point.
Went out of Moses Lake, Washington. The junior comes from the basketball family. Sisters played Division I ball in Pac-12. Mother as well.
I was at an ASU practice and I saw her little sister. I said, "Your name's Loretta. I know you can score." She just laughed. How about ASU? They're going to the Sweet 16.
Charlie Turner-Thorne. You've done a great job with the Sun Devils, and just a reminder to our viewers, we're in the Albany Regional. The winner of this one will take on the number 1 seed Louisville. Also in the bracket is UCLA and UConn. Start things.
And you think about that game, Tiffany, we're here on Monday night, and you're going to have to, you don't go home if you're Oregon State, but if you're Gonzaga and you win, you've got to go home, regroup, and probably leave Wednesday. That's a long trip to Albany, New York.
4:44 on the clock. Gonzaga holding tight to their 42-39 lead. With the Zags all game long. Slocum, knee, sick, handles the 2. Slocum starting to pick it up. She's got the juice right now.
And she is carrying the day after a rough first half. Now with 11.
Good defense there by the Beavers. Slocum doesn't have numbers, still decides to take. And Chandler Smith on the rejection.
I mean, you love the confidence, like, I can beat you, but Chandler played that beautifully. Just play it, hang. I mean, that's just beautiful to watch.
And a long 2 for Jess Loretta. Pivot on the take, the work, the left hand, going to work.
How tough is she? Points, double figures for Pivot.
Down to Rice. And Rice tried to take it. May have been deflected back on the other end.
Pivot, because of all the focus on Grimmick, you can't leave and go help. And so there's a lane. She takes it and has the whole lane to work with.
Kempton, ball fake.
Is that just basketball 101? Draw the big away, head fake, get him up in the air, and then go by.
Melody Kempton, one of the 2 freshmen on this team, out of Post Falls, Idaho. At 5 points Saturday, and that's 5 points here today. As we remind you, coming up next at Sports Center with Steve Levy and John Anderson, Rebecca Lobo joins us the show to break down the tournament's best so far, plus Russell Westbrook's quest for an incredible 3rd straight triple-double season, and Mel Kiper Jr.'s latest mock draft. It's coming up tonight. We talk about triple-double. Well, you have to say, just down the road in Eugene, Oregon, how about Sabrina Ionescu dropping her 18th career triple-double, and that win over Indiana.
We've seen a lot of comparisons to Russell Westbrook on social media today. Oh, Twitter was just a buzz today. Sabrina.
She can line up 29 points, 10 rebounds, 12 assists for the junior out of the Bay Area. Will this be her last run in a Ducks uniform? Coming in strong for the rebound was Kempton, and the second chance opportunity, and allows Rice to knock down the J.
We've really seen this over the last 5-6 games for Oregon State. When you go back into Pac-12 play, nice shot there. UCLA at Arizona State, at Arizona, the Washington game in conference, Boise. Teams just hanging around.
We talk about just how stressful it is, not only for the players. Aaliyah Goodman said her father couldn't even watch the final quarter against Boise State because he was so nervous.
Yeah, he just walked the upper corridor around and around, saw one of the makes, but didn't come back for any more.
And Slocum on the hustle, and she's fouled.
That's funny, though. You talk to your dad after the game. Well, what'd you think? Well, I didn't see it. Jerry West does the same thing. He talked a lot about when he was a GM, and he's been in that role for a lot of teams, and he can't watch. He just walks.
Well, Chandler Smith will go to the bench
with
4 personal fouls, and taking advantage right there. Oregon State ties. The crowd starting to come alive here in Gill Coliseum. Beavers hanging tight. They're tied.
Time for a studio update. Missouri State trying to make it to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 01. Abby Hipp lines it up, knocks down the offensive rebound in the 3. So 53-50 right now is the Missouri State game. Baylor up big. Kalani Brown and Lauren Cox playing really well so far for the Lady Bears. Tiffany, Mary?
Thanks so much, Maria. And really, Pac-12 teams have played so well throughout this tournament. A perfect 9-0. Of course, that can have a little blemish on it before the end of the night. But you talk about Oregon State and a dogfight here with Gonzaga. The last time a Pac-12 team won a national championship.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time, 1992. Stanford Cardinal able to get it done. And a steal out of the timeout. Oregon State with a chance to take their first lead of the game since the first quarter. And Pivot draws the foul. Zykira Rice with her 3rd personal.
Another area where Pivot is so valuable because she can drive, has all that strength. You've got a post that's in foul trouble. She's just adding to your woes inside.
First lead since the Beavers were up 10-9 with 2:42 remaining back in that first period.
Some defense by Oregon State.
Even though it looked like Slocum was a little out of control, Loetta didn't get her feet set. She's called for the blocking foul.
The push ahead. Loetta's going to try to catch Destiny before she turns and looks. But not set. That's one of those 50-50s.
Slocum, who was slow to get going in this ball game, has picked it up in this third quarter. 9 points.
Now 10.
By Zykira Rice, the senior.
That's what you call determined.
Helping to quiet that 7-0 run the Beavers were on. Oregon State with a chance. Take the final shot, the third period. Goodman lets it go. Grimmick with the rebound. What a terrific atmosphere in Gill Coliseum. A fantastic finish on the way when you come back. Beavers on top.
Games that have come down to this or overtime, and so this team's battle tested, and so we enjoy these challenges, although as a coach, of course, we'd love it to be a little easier.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
He's absolutely right. That overtime win against Boise State to make it here. Fell on a last-second shot to Washington in the Pac-12 quarterfinal.
But you roll it back to mid-February. Oregon, a 5-point win. USC, a 7-point win. A 3-point win over UCLA. At Arizona State, you lose that one by 12. Double overtime in Tucson to the NIT Arizona Wildcats. And then the UW game, I mean, every single game has been a grinder.
As a coach, obviously, you may grow some gray hairs, you may lose some, but how does this help your team if you're to advance on in the tournament and keep dancing?
Well, they're battle tested, and when you've got a player like Michaela Pivic, and to a person, they talked about that after the game and today, and that's simply, she willed them to victory. That game looked over against Boise State, but the ability to come back and just win that game, the will of Pivic, it just carries it a long, long way with the squad.
Pivic and Slocum combined for 16 of Oregon State's 18 points in that third quarter, but Joe Grimmick getting in on the action.
And look, when you're playing patty cake at the rim, like I'm just passing it to you, Tiff, and I'm just putting it in, I mean, they make basketball look easy.
Loetta the long two bounces in.
That's some of that perimeter game that we talked about that Gonzaga has got to have. You need that complement.
Talked in the open about three-point shooting. Zags unable to knock down one here today after shooting 41% on the season. We'll catch an NIT quarterfinal doubleheader tomorrow at 7 Eastern on ESPN. The winners punch their ticket for a trip to the Final Four in Madison Square Garden. Make sure you visit NCAA.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships. For the state, Colorado will host, will be the last teams rather into the NIT quarterfinals.
Good guard for Colorado, McKinley Wright the fourth. Oh, beautiful dish.
Off the iron for Grimmick.
for Grimmick, you just got to get over that because they're going to come back to you.
Down to Rice, getting in the middle of the lane again. Corsdale was tracking her all the way.
And again, Katie Campbell has not made a three. She is just 2 points, both at the free throw line. What a job defensively Oregon State has done on her.
That after knocking down 5, responsible for all 15 of her points against Little Rock.
So you see the difference when the ball is delivered up high versus down low. Pivot. And Rice just follow the ball, trace it.
Short, following her shot, Leanne Worth. And Worth now with 10 points. Just 2 shy of her career high.
It's kind of hard to believe.
Yeah. And Grimmick cut down by the smaller guard in Loetta.
What impressed me there about Grimmick? Go catch the ball. That's what's important. You can't do anything or go anywhere without it. She didn't sit around and wait like, hey, Destiny, can you get to me in a better spot?
Katie McWilliams, number 10 in white. Checking back in for the Beavers. Here's Pivot on the taller Worth, and Worth working hard on the glass. The pass ahead to Rice, and what body control going up to get it, and the assist for Loetta.
And Laura Stockton on the bench motioning to the Zag fans saying, come on, bring it.
6-0 run for the Bulldogs to reclaim the lead. Loetta doesn't have numbers, still throws it up wildly. Pivot. Oh, the nice side step sweep up by Goodman.
But a smart play by Rice. It is not worth the foul. They need you on the floor.
Remember, Chandler Smith is on the bench with 4 fouls, 3 for Rice, but you see how she can get up and down the floor.
When you can get some easy points, show a target, deliver it. Corsdale tries to get there straight up and down, but a beautiful finish. Again, go get the ball. And the point made famous by Dean Smith for the assist. It lives on.
Rice will take a breather, the senior out of Tacoma, Washington, with 12 points and 6 of 11 shooting. Smith back in with those 4 fouls and picking up right where she left off.
What a game. Three Zags in double figures.
5.5 to go in this one.
Trying to post Katie McWilliams up. Nothing there.
Nisson Washing with her back to the basket, turns around and evens it up at 57.
It doesn't have to be complicated. Just catch it, turn, and shoot.
And charging in for the rebound was Jen Worth, tracking the ball all the way to the floor. And the Beavers will have the ball when we come back. Oh my, both teams trying to make it to the Sweet 16. Only one can go.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Every team's goal is to make it to Tampa Bay, where coverage of the Women's Final Four begins Friday, April 5th at 6:30 Eastern on ESPN2 and also on the ESPN app. Championship concluding on Sunday, April 7th at 6 on ESPN. And the question is, who are going to be the Final Four teams? You look at those remaining in the Albany region. A couple of Pac-12 teams, UConn, 11-time national champion, Gonzaga, Louisville. The winner of this one will go on to play the Cardinals.
And last year, Oregon State lost to Louisville in the Elite Eight in Lexington, Kentucky, 76-43. So we talked about these teams and how you weave this tournament together. You see each other one year, you see them the next.
Pivic defers.
Great team box out, Gonzaga. 16 O-boards for Oregon State has helped them in this game.
Scott Rook said they needed to be strong on the boards. They're winning the rebounding battle. And you have to applaud the way both Leanne and Jen Worth, along with Zykira Rice, continuing to go right at that front court of Oregon State. Welcome in, everybody, to Corvallis. It has been rocking all night long. Oregon State, the 4 seed, tied up with Gonzaga. It's everything you've wanted it to be and more. The crowd is great. The action is terrific. And with just over 4 minutes to go, only one of these teams can move on to the Sweet 16.
And Laura Stockton, the starting senior point guard for Gonzaga, out with a knee injury. Their number one person off the bench, Jill Townsend, out with an injury. 2 of their top 4 scorers not playing, and the Zags are tied in Corvallis with Oregon State.
Good look there at the third best assister in program history for Gonzaga. Jessie Loretto has done an amazing job running the point for the Bulldogs. Only 6 turnovers in this ball game.
Unbelievable number. It's helped them overcome all those offensive rebounds by Oregon State.
Maddie Washington.
Maddie Washington has been so solid in this tournament. 8 points on 4 of 5 on Saturday. Tonight, 5 of 8.
And some contact there. And Rice will go to the line. Katie McWilliams picks up the personal. Zykira Rice, the leading scorer for the Bulldogs, who had foul trouble in that first half with 12 points. A chance to add to that with her first trip to the line tonight.
She's only played 16 minutes of this ball game because of the foul trouble. But the job that Pivic has done on Katie Campbell, she has just shut her down completely with her size and strength. Campbell, again, has not hit a 3, and she can't even get one off.
Rice knocking down both 10 ties, 9 lead changes in this one.
1-2-2 pressure.
Beavers looking for their 4th straight Sweet 16 appearance. The last time Gonzaga made it there.
Gotta go.
In 2015, 3 to go on the shot clock. Some indecision there by Pivic. Loetta using the screen, had a wide open look at it, won't fall.
You're going to get Worth over the back.
Lisa Fortier in her group, the 5 seed, highest ever in program history for Scott Ruick. Built the Beavers program into a national contender. Now blocking foul, and that's the 4th team foul for the Bulldogs.
Chandler Smith has 4 personal fouls. Loetta, 4 personal fouls.
Pivot, the hoop, and the horn.
Just so smart, great instincts. You could feel the lean forward by the defense, Worth, and so you go forward and explode. So strength, great track athlete in high school, the javelin. Here at Oregon State, when you have a money ball, you want it in her hands.
Welcome in, America, to what we've heard all night long here in Gill Coliseum. A terrific atmosphere and great crowd. 62-59 with 2:16 remaining. The winner of this one will advance to the Albany Regional and face Louisville, the #1 seed. UCLA picked up a win earlier. They'll face off against UConn.
Last year in the Sweet 16, Oregon State beat Baylor by 5, 72-67 before losing to Louisville in Lexington. And the drama builds. Will 2 Pac-12 teams go to Albany? There's 2 in Portland.
Smith with the take to the bucket, just fearless going into the hoop.
Great execution coming out of that timeout.
Slocum to Corsdale. Buckets!
Is that just the definition of confidence? I got it, I'm open, this thing's going down. Corsdale lighting it up last couple games.
The step back just short, pushed off the hands of Smith. The ball will remain with the Bulldogs with 12 seconds to go on the shot clock.
Boy, considering what happened against Boise on Saturday, this must feel like a 10-point lead to Oregon State.
They were down by 4 in the final seconds. Katie Campbell still not able to knock down a 3-ball. Just a reminder here, Gonzaga with 3 players with 4 fouls, and Leanne Worth, Jess Loetta, and Chandler Smith. Working that shot clock wide open. Washington. Largest lead of the ball game, and this place erupts.
Slocum. Decision time. Maddie Washington. The money ball again. 8 points the other night, 10 points tonight.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Both of these teams hanging tough. One's going to keep on dancing. Will it be the 4 seed? Oregon State seeking their 4th trip to the Sweet 16.
They are the cardiac kids. They make everything interesting.
We saw some late game heroics from Michaela Pivick and Katie McWilliams to push the game into overtime against Boise State here tonight. 4 players in double figures for the Beavers.
Pivick, 17 points, 11 rebounds, another double-double, and 6 assists.
I want to talk about the story of the score to this point now. 68-61, Oregon State with the lead. It was Michaela Pivick and Destiny Slocum bringing back the Beavers in that 3rd quarter. What Scott Rulick says was their nemesis. And call it off the backboard. Zykira Rice saying the Bulldogs will not go quietly, down by 5. She had only attempted 2 3-pointers.
She's made 1 in her career. But desperate times, desperate measures.
Only 2 3-pointers this weekend. That is not her shot. But she lets it go. Talk about the senior leadership. And that's the first made 3 tonight for Gonzaga, who's 7th best in the country. 4 timeouts remaining for the Beavers, none for the Bulldogs.
The first made 3 for Gonzaga tonight. But this game isn't over.
Nope.
If there's anything we should have learned from Saturday night, when you're starting to think, oh, Oregon State and Boise State's going to keep dancing.
Mary, I'll tell you this. Our hearts have been racing along with the rest of America. And watching Oregon State, they're down, backs against the rope. They come back and win in overtime against Boise State. Here tonight, wrestling once more with Gonzaga. There's still, like you said, a lot of time to go.
There is, and can Gonzaga pull a miracle out here? And what an effort, what a season. The injuries at the end of the season, all the grief for Lisa Fortier and her family, and here they are, down 5 points. You're under a minute. Everything has got to go perfectly.
Laura Stockton can only look on, the injured point guard, hoping things turn around for the Bulldogs. Remember, coming up after this one, it's Stanford and BYU. The Zags beat Stanford earlier this season while they fell to their West Coast Conference opponent, BYU, 3 times.
And I was talking to Elise Woodward earlier today, and she said BYU will be ready to go. This is going to be a whale of a ball game.
Slocum on the inbound, gets it to McWilliams, quickly fouled by Rice.
It's her 4th. This is the other problem with fouling people, is all your prime timers now have 4 fouls. McWilliams, the senior, along with Joe Grimmick, but she's been with this team for 4 years. The only one on the squad who's been to the Final Four her last game here at Gill.
16 of 20 tonight for the Beavers from the charity stripe. And the Zags looking on, holding on to hope.
It's the wishing, hoping, praying stance.
Got to get a shot off quickly. Too much time. Running off the clock. Possession arrow. It stays with the Zags. Katie Campbell, who's been quiet tonight, can launch it from 3. Loetta can hit it from deep as well. It was 24. Campbell. Good recovery defense by Goodman, standing right there.
She's been blanketed all night long. Essentially, It's almost been 4-on-4 on the offensive end. Pivic most of the time guarding Campbell, and she just has not been able to get a shot off. No clean looks. And Aaliyah Goodman, who struggled so mightily against UW in that loss, 0 for 9 from 3. Started 0 for 3 on Saturday, made 3 straight.
And let's get a quick check into the studio with Maria.
Yeah, Tiffany, we already have another matchup going over on ESPN2. We've got Stanford taking on BYU and the Cardinal. They've won 18 straight NCAA tournament games at home, but that is in action now. And we're going to wait till you finish up this great matchup you still have going in Corvallis, Tiff.
Whoa, yeah, absolutely, Maria. How about the big bucket there by Loetta? Still work to do. 5 to go. 5 points, rather, separate the two teams. And another foul as Goodman will head back to the line. And Leanne Worth fouls out of the ball game. 10 points, 5 boards. She played next level tonight for her team.
She'll be back.
And there you have to go back just about a minute or so ago. That big layup by Madison Washington to help stretch that lead out a little bit more for Oregon State, give them some breathing room. Rice once again just will not go away. One of the 3 seniors on this team for Gonzaga. 4.6 seconds remaining.
And this is live as an Oregon State fan. This is how it goes. Teams will not go away. This is a proud, talented Gonzaga team.
The Zags, who made it to the Sweet 16 when they were here in Oregon State back in 2015. Hanging on for dear life in their season. Zykira Rice with 20 points. In this huddle for Scott Ruick, what is he telling his group?
Just be smart. Just let's keep it together. You know, be strong with the basketball. But you like being up 4 rather than down 4 right now, because that's what they lived through on Saturday night.
This team last year made it all the way to the Elite 8. And Beaver Nation wants to see their team continue to dance.
Oregon State, 2 timeouts left if they have trouble getting it inbounded.
They get it in the hands of Pivic. Not much time runs off the clock.
You know, it's interesting. Oregon State University is the host of the Portland region. And in the Portland region will be the University of Oregon and Arizona State. If Oregon State wins this ball game, they'll be going to Albany.
They'll have to travel across a few time zones to get there to play a Friday night game.
Great shot of Kat Tudor on the bench.
And Pivic money from the free throw line. That's the end of the season for the Gonzaga Bulldogs as Oregon State